Καλησπέρα σας, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Το υποσχέθηκα και να είμαστε λοιπόν και πάλι εδώ για ακόμα μια φορά. Ακόμα μια εκπομπή πρόσωπα Faces. Another program, another face, a new face to us, very well known face. Mr. George Χωραφάς. Welcome to Hellenic TV. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, I'm good too. Okay. Γιώργο μου, I'm very happy to have you here with me, and I like to travel back to the future.
Back to the future.
How about that?
Okay, all right.
Can we go back to France?
Back to France. Yeah.
I want you to just take us back where you born and how it comes and you born in France.
Yeah.
It's a violin story.
Tell
me about that.
Yeah, it's a story. It's a sound of music always. With us Greeks. Well, yeah, it was my father. My father, well, first of all, my grandfather left the island of Kefalonia with a violin at the age of 13 and went to Athens. And his brothers as well. They were all musicians. And of course, my father was a musician from a very young age. And he won a gold medal, which was a very big award at the time that allowed him to get an education anywhere in the world. He chose Paris. And then the war broke out, and he was sent back to Greece, and then he came back after the war, married this time, and he studied conducting, and got the first prize at the Paris Conservatory, and then started his career. And then I was born.
Okay. Tell me, before you go to that, tell me something else, please. You're talking about Kefalonia, okay?
Yeah.
And violin.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with the mandolin, Captain Corelli's mandolin? Because he was...
I had nothing to do with Captain Corelli, at least. No, because actually, during the time when that captain was in Kefalonia, the whole family was in Athens.
Okay.
So
is that to do with that?
I have nothing to do with that.
Okay then. Now.
But the truth is that
yes,
in Kefalonia there is a very strong Italian influence. That's why there is the mandolin.
Yes.
That's why there is the violin.
Okay.
And so all the music from these Western islands is very influenced by the Italian music. There's no bouzouki there.
There's no bouzouki.
The bouzouki is, it's the Eastern influence.
Yes.
And I love the bouzouki.
Okay.
Maybe, that's to just to be different from my father.
Okay, so your father was a very famous, composer. Conductor, sorry. And you born in France.
Yeah.
You are the only child.
I'm the only child because life is complicated enough for
especially
a foreign
for artists.
Artist and also immigrant. So keep it simple, one child, and my whole relationship to Greece is summertime because there in the summer I have brothers and sisters. It's my cousins.
Okay.
I don't have brothers and sisters, but I go to Greece and they are better than brothers and sisters. It's my cousins, and I live with them 3 months a year.
And this is where you find a way to learn the Greek language.
That's how I learned.
Yes, because you are very good in Greek as well. You took, to me.
Well, I'm not going to contradict you, but sometimes it's difficult.
No, it's good
to find my words.
So,
anyway.
All right, but school days, you know what I mean, and studies have anything to do with acting at the beginning, from early years, or
no, I sort of you know, trying to find my way. I'm trying to see what I really want to do in life, and I realized that what I want to do is get a taste of the world. I want to travel. I want to satisfy my curiosity, and I try the way of the writer. I go to law school to get a degree, which I don't get because it's.
You're a bit lazy.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Not really interested in that, you know,
Field.
In that field. So I cannot get interested. I cannot get inspired by that. And also, very soon I run into the theater, or the theater runs into me. There's a crash there, and
I think you are running faster than the theater.
I fall.
Yes, it's your fault. You are running faster than the theater.
I was running. I was not watching right on 11. Bang! I fall on the theater, and I fall in love with it. You know, actually, that the first theater that I really, apart from the theaters that I knew as a child, where my father was conducting opera, you know, sort of gives me the first taste. But I fall in love with the theater, which is in Versailles, which I start acting in. That's where the family lives. So the theater in Versailles is an absolute gem. It's an old theater from the time of Louis XIV. It's beautiful. It's my first experiences of being there with small rows, with the public, breathing in this atmosphere. It's incredible. And then immediately I get a more interesting role, and we start going on tour, and I start living my dream, which was to travel, get to know places, get to know people, get to know worlds, and that particular art opens windows to go very deep into the lives of people, to go into professions, to go into historical periods, to go into geographical places. It gets me to the snows, it gets me to the ice, it gets me to the deserts, it gets me to the jungles. It really takes me. It's a fantastic vehicle that up to today keeps feeding me and satisfying my curiosity for this crazy life.
And at the same time, you get the opportunity to investigate new characters, because playing a different role and all this kind of thing is the same thing. I mean, you get into these characters and you study them and you create, and you live with them.
Yes. Well, the characters, of course, they have their psychological idiosyncrasies, which is interesting, and it's interesting to see what makes a personality, what is really the core of a human being, and what is the various added quirks that come from decisions or from compulsions. All that is very interesting. But what is even more interesting to me is that those people that I play, they have a particular life, a particular occupation, and all of a sudden I'm taken in. And if you're doing a cop, for example, the production is going to help you to meet real cops, and the real cops are going to be really interested in showing you how that works. And it's very, very funny how actors are welcome in all parts of the society. So they always are opening the door to you and showing their life, so you can portray them. Everybody is very interested in giving you as much as they can in order to be well represented.
Okay, and most of it is that you know, when you are acting and you get all these opportunities to meet people and portray them, you live in the same environment, and you get the chance to live different characters, different kind of life all the time. Yes.
Whether it is a sailor or a soldier,
or whatever, a madman,
a worker,
or
yeah,
or a happy man,
factory
or
worker,
yeah.
racing car driver, a wood carver. You get, everybody tells you, okay, this is how it works,
Okay.
and it's fantastic.
George,
It's fantastic. I recommend it.
you know something? You recommend? Tell them to become more
actors.
Actors, yes.
Be actors.
George, you know, we all know you very well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
With this character you play in Politico Xena.
Right.
You know, everybody knows this, film, and everybody knows George Khorafas. Corraface. George Corraface. How they call you in France?
Oh, Corraface.
Corrafas. Okay. You know, before I go to that, the accent, you get it from where? I mean, someone teach you this accent, or the American accent? You have? It's not a French accent.
Yeah, it's more American than British.
Is your family,
Well, I have family. Yes, the family of my wife.
Ah, okay.
My wife is an American, but she's an American who chose freedom. She left America and she came to France
To find you.
to find me,
Yes.
and to find something else than the American dream. She didn't buy the American dream. She was smarter than that. She said, "Okay, I'm gonna leave."
Okay. Now, can we?
I don't know. Maybe she regrets it now. But.
She's watching. Can we just talk a little bit about, Politico Xena, and then, if we have a chance, we can see a clip of it.
Yeah.
Give us the most important details that we have to know.
Well, first of all, you have to know that it's a film that was directed and written by Tassos Boulmetis, and he really talks about what he experienced. He was part of that wave of expulsions of the Greeks from Constantinople. Istanbul for the Turks, and he was very young when this happened. So the story that is
It's about his life. Actually.
It's about his life. It's about this community of Greeks from Constantinople called Polis, the city. It was the city.
Yes.
So those Greeks were expelled as Greeks, and they were received in Greece as Turks because they were different. They spoke differently. They had different habits of even
Traditions.
culinary traditions, music. They were quite different from the mainland Greeks. So they had problems with both the place where they were chased from and the place where they were tolerated. So that makes already something which is, and we're talking about millions of people. We're talking about over the years, millions of Greeks came from Asia Minor and Constantinople. So the nice thing about this film is that, being a personal story, he allows himself to make fun of himself and his community. He's got the right. Usually, this whole story is like a sore to the Greek psyche, and no one really likes to think about it and to talk about it. It's a difficult topic.
But he wanted to bring this out and
he brought it out,
share it with other people.
and he shared it, and he didn't hesitate to make fun of himself, to
Exactly.
make to include the humor in the tragedy, and that's what makes that particular quality of this
And
film.
that's why I think the film was successful.
That's why the film was successful, because it allowed the rest of the Greeks to look at this particular page of history or chapter of history with with nostalgia at the same time, but also with a smile, and it became more acceptable. People were able to I've used that word, that psychological word, to have closure. Most people were able to have closure with the episodes of Asia Minor, thanks to this film. This film has helped a lot.
George, can I go and see a clip of that film?
Let's go.
Politico Xena.
Okay.
Let's go and see it.
Now it's my turn to leave.
Goodbye, Sammy. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Vanis.
Don't look back, Saime. On train platforms, we look back and that image remains as a promise.
that's fantastic. I remember when I was watching that film, you know, and I'm going to watch the whole film later on anyway. Beautiful. And you are
Nice
very
film.
good, George, you know. I mean, I am giving you Oscar for that, okay?
No, it's not. It's not that kind of performance, but the film, yeah, deserves
Awards.
acclaims and awards, and it got a lot of them.
Okay, shall we, if you don't mind,
Touches
okay?
the right
George,
spots.
I like to talk about your participation in other films, Greek films, with Greek, directors.
Ναι.
And in this case, here it is George with his good Greek. Can we turn to Greek for a little bit and tell us about the Greek?
Και βέβαια.
Okay. Λοιπόν, τι έχεις κάνει με Έλληνες
Με Έλληνες.
συνεργάτες?
Πολλά τελικά. Έχω κάνει πολλά πράγματα. Πέρα από τις ακυβέρνητες πολιτείες που γίνηκε γύρω στο 1983, ήταν η πρώτη μου εμπειρία με έτσι τηλεόραση, με αυτό το πάρα πολύ ωραίο βιβλίο του Στράτη Τσίρκα. I recommend that. Drifting Cities, a very beautiful book by Stratis Tsirkas. Μετά σταμάτησα τουλάχιστον 10 χρόνια και με τα 10 χρόνια με κάλεσε ο Ανδρέας ο Πάντζης από την Κύπρο με ένα πάρα πολύ δυνατό σενάριο, πάρα πολύ δυνατή ιστορία που λεγόταν «Η σφαγή του Κόκορα». Και πραγματικά γινήκαμε πάρα πολύ φίλοι με τον Ανδρέα και κάναμε μια άλλη ταινία που λεγόταν «Το Τάμα». Και τώρα αυτή τη στιγμή τελειώνουμε τα γυρίσματα σε καμιά 2 εβδομάδες στην Κύπρο μιας τρίτης ταινίας που έχει έτσι ένα θέμα πιο thriller. Το Τάμα είναι πιο ιστορικό, είναι μια διαδρομή μέσα από την Κύπρο του 40. Και για να μην μπαίνουμε πολύ στις λεπτομέρειες, τέλος πάντων, έχω συνδεθεί πολύ και με την Κύπρο, μέσω από τον Ανδρέα, και βέβαια με τον Ανδρέα και όλη την οικογένειά του, που είναι όλοι μέσα στην παραγωγή, όλοι βοηθάνε. Είναι πολύ συγκινητική πώς να πούμε, η επιμονή και το πάθος που έχουν για να κάνουν ταινίες. Γιατί είναι πάρα πολύ δύσκολο. Με μεγάλες δυσκολίες γίνονται οι ταινίες στην Ελλάδα γενικώς, μπορώ να σας το διαβεβαιώσω. Λόγω οικονομικών. Λόγω που είναι η τελευταία ρόδα του καροτσιού, δεν ξέρω αν υπάρχει τέτοια έκφραση. Δεν βοηθάει το κράτος. Το κράτος δίνει πολύ λίγα χρήματα στο κέντρο. Το κέντρο αυτά τα χρήματα είναι ψίχουλα που δίνει. Είναι πολύ δύσκολα και στην Κύπρο ακόμα πιο πολύ δύσκολα.
I tell you what.
Yes, what?
You are invited for another session when you come back, when you return later on, and you have a reason to come back to England. But let's go back to the American accent, American English. Okay?
Let's go back.
And I want you to give us the reason why you are here in London. What do you do here at the moment?
Yes. Yes. So right now, I'm shooting a comedy written and directed by Marcos Markou. And please note the title. It's called Papadopoulos Sons. And it is the most lovely comedy that portrays a Greek family, actually a Cypriot Greek family, that started with the arrival of 2 brothers after some unrest between the 2 communities in Cyprus, where the family house had burned down and the parents had died and one of the brothers had died. And the 2 brothers that survived eventually came to London, and the older brother that I play took care of the younger brother and finally opened a fish and chip shop. That fish and chip shop was a great success. There was a lot of music, a lot of parties, and a lot of good eating as well. And then the younger brother, who was educated in England and became more English than me, and he's the central character. it's through the problems that his family is going through. He's moved out, he's moved on from the fish and chip shop, and he's the boss of a huge company that makes food for supermarkets, pre-cooked and prepared food, and also the tzatziki and the tarama and all those things. And he's very successful, and he's just about to construct a huge mall when the banks collapse, and he's got a big problem, and he's got to move out of his luxurious way of life. Him and his 3 children. The wife has died, so he's there with the nanny, the English nanny, and the 3 children. And all this group, this family, is very English. My brother has become very English, and he's portrayed by Stephen Delane, fantastic
Very
actor.
well known actor.
Very well known and very dedicated and talented actor. His son, Frank Delane, also plays the actual son, Papadopoulos Sons.
Family matters.
And family. And there is Georgina Groom that plays the daughter.
Another young lady, known young lady.
We have also Cosima Shaw who plays the love interest of the character that Stephen plays, and we also have the nanny played by Selina Cadell, or Cadell, Selina Cadell, fantastic British actress, theater, television, cinema.
Yeah.
And so this group is very, very English, and they've lost everything, and they need just to get by to sell the fish and chip shop that has been closed for 30 years. Because my character has gone on, you know. My character is sort of a grasshopper, just living the day-by-day kind of life. And he just needs the cash. And he calls his brother, with whom he's been sort of estranged because the personalities didn't quite agree. And he says, well, look, we own this fish and chip shop 50-50, that's why it's still there. All the rest has been taken away from me. I just need a few months to get by till I can buy everything back or arrange. I'm working everything out, but right now I need you to just sign the papers here, and you know, you get 50%, I get 50%, and I can just move along. And I say no. I knew that it would be difficult. I just knew it. No, we cannot sell it. We have to. I have a better idea. And the idea that he sells is, let's reopen the fish and chip shop. Are you crazy? Wow, yes, there's you know, you can even live there. There's 2 bedrooms there. Live in that dump. Look at the mansion where I am. Look at my kids. You know, they'll never go for it. Yeah, but come on, we can do it. And the nanny just helps. And in the end, there's no other choice because I'm not budging. I'm not going to sell that. So the whole family goes from the big mansion to that little dump of a fish and chip shop. And they rehabilitate it, and they reopen it. And of course, I was right, because that's how the father, who had so much the business in his head and had lost connection with the children, that's how everybody finds each other again and finds the joy in the heart. And he realizes that's the moral. I'm not telling the details, because that's what you have to discover if you go watch the film, but he rediscovers that the real success is the joy that you feel more than what you have in the back.
Okay, George, how is it working with the Greek Cypriot actor born in London and Greek actors as the same as English actors? Is it different than you work with Greeks in Greece and Cyprus?
Come again?
The question is it different than working with Greeks in Greek, only Greeks, than working here in London with the Cypriot director born in London and English actors as well as Greek actors here? How you find it?
It's well. It's interesting to see that Stephen is playing a Cypriot Greek, but a very anglicized Greek. So he's got to do a lot of soul searching to find the Greek in himself.
Exactly, because he's dancing in the scene.
In the
he
end,
managed to dance very well at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the whatever was the seeds of the Greekness were in him, and they come out in him, in the character. And Stephen does that wonderfully, and this is this lovely scene where he dances. And for me, it's very interesting. I did try to add some London accent. I just tamed down my American English. I added a little bit of Greek, a Greekness in it. So, but my character, the story of my character is that he's gone all around, and he's been in America before coming back to England. In the years of being away from his brother, he was in America. He was in Brooklyn. He was in Los Angeles, managing a block of apartments. He's been exposed to many other influences. So, yeah, that's Spiros.
Good, Spiro. George, tell me about your family. I mean, I know your father and mother, and they have only you, but your own family, wife, children.
Oh, I have a wife. As I was telling you, she's from a family. Her mother was an actress in San Francisco. She studied theater. She was a playwright when we met, and then she's been always involved in writing for the theater or for the cinema. And
Your children?
I've got children. My daughter is involved in, she's an actress and a very good singer. My son is a filmmaker.
Oh, good.
Documentary, though. He's not interested in fiction films. He's interested in documentaries. And we are sort of continuing in that direction.
Okay.
We're enjoying it.
When is this Papadopoulos Sons is going to come out?
We have to ask the question to Marcus.
Marcos. Okay.
Marco.
We invite Marcos when the time comes.
Yes.
Here with you again. And
He's a fantastic. I'd like to say he's a fantastic person, fantastic director, fantastic writer. He's maybe I would say that on the contrary to many mainland Greece filmmakers, he just goes the extra step that makes the script really good. He doesn't leave anything. He doesn't go, oh, it's okay, that's good enough. Marcus doesn't go, it's good enough.
Okay.
He works and he works out the problems, and also because he is he's a playwright, he's involved also in improvisational theater, he's an actor himself. That helps his writing, because you can see that in the dialogues come from, they're character driven, and that's why
he acts all the parts.
He acts all the parts before he writes.
Okay,
and that's why it's so vibrant, so original, and it's not just plot oriented as you see sometimes.
George,
yes.
As I say,
if I'm too long, just cut some other
no, it's not cuts. No cuts. No cuts.
Yeah.
Please wait a second, George. Being in that film, Politico Xena, and testing all this food and all this kind of thing, can I ask you, what is your favorite food? Please tell us.
Well, I love artichokes a la Politici.
Yes.
The artichokes with this lemon, avolemono.
Oh, yes.
I love avolemono. This avolemono sauce with dill, with the dill, that herb.
That's nice.
Dill.
Thanks very much. Well, what can I do? I mean, I want to keep you here for longer, but you know, time is going so fast. You know what I mean?
I know. And
So in this case,
sorry to bore you all.
no, you're never. We want you to come back.
Okay.
Yes, you promise. So here we are, good friends, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές, κάπου εδώ, in this program again, we are at the end, and I have to thank you for being with us. Thank you, George
Thank you, Vasily.
Χωραφάς. It
Thank
was a pleasure to have you
Well,
in our program.
It was always a pleasure.
And I wish you all the best for the future.
And I'm having a very good time in London and getting to know the Greek community and the Cypriot community.
That's good.
Of London. It's really lovely.
Looking forward to see you again soon.
Yeah.
When the time comes, when the film is ready,
I'll be here.
and you know, you have another invitation. You be here and talk to us about what's happened since then and all this kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Vasily.
Lovely. George Χωραφάς.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Από εδώ, καληνύχτα σας, καλοί φίλοι ακροατές, θεατές, με συγχωρείτε. Θα είμαστε μαζί και πάλι την ερχόμενη εβδομάδα, την ίδια ώρα. Together, next Sunday again, at the same time, 8 o'clock, from me, Vasilis Panagis, and from George Corraface. Καληνύχτα.
Καληνύχτα.